Living armor is always a fun concept when it comes around, just to seeing how someone chooses to approach it in Origins, where you take a piece of armor and give it a reason why it's alive. I mean, it's something I just like looking at. Equipment that you put out in the field and it just exists in its own way. It creates its own creature to exist for. And that's what this Origin here is too. It's animated armor. This is an Origin you can find on CurseForge rather than the Discord server. It's a 2-impact Origin, a sentient suit of magically enchanted armor brought to life by unknown arcane enchantments. Let's get into the Origin. Living armor. You inhabit a suit of armor. You cannot equip other armors or remove your armor. This also means normal elytras are gone. Steel Constitution. You do not take health damage. Instead, you have a meter that displays your overall durability of your armor, which can only take 1 point of damage per attack. For each 25% of this bar that you lose, a piece of your armor will break. This armor will always break in the same order, going from your helmet all the way down to your boots being the final piece to break. And for each piece of armor that does break off, you will lose certain abilities. For example, when your helmet breaks, you will only be able to see entities that are close towards you. When you use your chest plate, you'll lose a lot of damage and reach potential, but when you lose your leggings, you will have a movement speed increase to potentially help you get out of whatever situations you get yourself stuck in. Based upon the damage that a husk usually deals to you, it's about 1 to 1/half a heart depending on your armor stats. It takes around 4-ish hits per tier of armor piece. Some of them will take 3 tiers because the 4th hit will eat a little bit into the next tier, so on and so forth. So it will take a fair amount of hits to break through each piece of your armor. Once your boots break, you die. Pretty self-explanatory, to be completely honest. Metallurgy. Your body cannot be naturally or magically mended. Instead, you repair by consuming iron ingots. So A, you have no natural regeneration whatsoever because your hunger doesn't actually matter with this Origin. Any form of magical regeneration potions or instant health potions have no effect on your durability whatsoever. The only way to heal is using iron ingots. Iron ingots will give you roughly 18% of your durability back per iron ingot. I say roughly because that's what I can gather at a gauge and based on a little bit of mass. So iron's going to be very important to have on you at all times, and I'd also wait until you're about to break through a layer of armor before you even use an iron ingot to get the most out of it. And to eat iron ingots, just use your primary ability key, which is bind to G by default. Decoy. Become an immobile suit of armor. Mobs will not target you whilst in this state. So here's a few things to go with this. This is bound to your secondary ability key, which you have to choose. It's not bound to anything by default. And whenever you do use this ability, you will turn into an armor statue with your armor sitting on said statue. This will lead to any mobs that are currently targeting you to stop targeting you. A zombie or something like that may stand staring in front of you for a little while, but eventually they'll move on. Something to be aware of though is that if you are currently being targeted by, let's say, a husk or a zombie, if you do go to your statue mode, you may still take a hit of damage from said zombie, but they will never hit you beyond the first hit and they'll end up ignoring you after a certain point anyway. Deflective plating. You take no damage from regular arrows while your armor is fully intact. So whenever you have your full armor set before you lose your helmet to damage, any form of arrows will just deflect right off you, which can lead to some pretty interesting scenarios, as these arrows that deflect right off you, it isn't like they are hitting you and then stopping and not giving you damage. No, they deflect, they will bounce backwards and then hit anything that's near you if it's close enough. This could lead to scenarios where zombies get hit by a skeleton's loose arrow and then the husk or zombie will just go and start chasing down the skeleton, which can lead you in a pretty nice situation. Though the moment you lose your helmet in any form of damage, you will start taking damage from said arrows. Construct. Your body doesn't experience hunger and you don't benefit from a natural regeneration. We already knew this. You don't have to worry about regeneration in any way, shape or form from your hunger, as well as you don't have to worry about your hunger decreasing in any way, shape or form, because in theory it doesn't exist for you. Heavy metal. Your dense body weighs you down in water but also renders you immune to knockback. You don't need to breathe in water as you also have no lungs. I think the best way to describe it is water doesn't exist to you because you just walk underwater as you would walk on land. You don't need to worry about breathing. Water is literally just a visual effect. Also, you take no knockback damage, which is hilarious, especially when you get hit by an iron golem, because usually when you get hit by an iron golem, you get flung up in the air. This guy, nah, you're just standing there, tanking like a beast, looking at the iron golem. He's just gonna keep hitting you, but you're just gonna keep sitting there staring at him going, hey, how you doing? You gonna knock me in the air? Nope, shame. Disembodied. Your lack of limbs cause you to move 20% and slower than a human. However, you have a greater effective reach whilst your chest plate is still intact. When your chest plate is active on you, you do have a reach of about 7 blocks. It's slightly longer than the usual range. It's nothing too much to really particularly care about. It's just useful to have that extra range in certain scenarios. Your movement speed being 20% slower, you can kind of notice it because you do feel a little bit slow, but honestly, it's not going to be something that's the end of the world. You'll be fine. It's not drastically slower. You'll be able to handle it. And if you seriously need to go fast, you know how to do it. Go down to just wearing your boots and you'll go stupid fast. Restless, you cannot sleep. Whenever you right click on a bed, it'll just tell you suits of armor don't need to sleep, though you can still set your respawn point at this bed, so you can move your spawn point, you just can't sleep. Immobile joints, your form is too rigid to use a shield effectively. Who knew a guy who has diamond level armor from the very moment you spawn is unable to use shields whatsoever? Makes sense. Anti-magic ward, you're immune to all potions and status effects. This is both a good thing and a bad thing, because you're immune to every single bad debuff that you can get in the game, including bad omens, which are both a good thing and a bad thing because, you know, you can't do raids anymore because you can't get the bad omen to cause a raid. This gets rid of an entire feature in Minecraft Vanilla Survival if you don't have a multiplayer server. This also means beacon effects are completely useless towards you, as well as conduits do absolutely nothing to benefit you whatsoever, making it so anything to do with potions or any form of status effects is just completely not worth your time whatsoever. Frost ward, you're immune to freeze damage. I mean, that's just a little bonus on top of the mess of potions and debuffs that you don't get anymore. You still will get all the beautiful frost effects applied to you, you just won't take any form of damage from it whatsoever. No stomach, you cannot eat food. This does mean almost every single food item in the game you cannot eat whatsoever. Even the more utility foods such as chorus fruit is unedible towards you, but you can still eat cakes. You can still eat a Minecraft cake, which is probably the only thing you want to eat anyway, because who cares about eating actual Minecraft food? And that is the animated armor origin. If you did enjoy this origin, make sure to check out the link in the description below where it takes you to the CurseForge website, because this is an origin that can be found on CurseForge. Absolutely beautiful. So let me know in the comments down below what other origins you want me to check out in the future, and if you did enjoy this video, make sure to click this video on screen now to check out more origins related content. Also subscribe. Bye bye!